Hello everyone, welcome back to Bracket Fantasy Sports Cards. Today we are going to get into this brand new release, Prestige 2021 Hanger Box, which last year was an awesome product. So we're hoping this year is at least half as good, because last year the Hanger Box, the Mega Box were both awesome. So hopefully we can pull some cool stuff out of here. And in addition to that, today, this video is the announcement for the 2021 season of Fantasy Rip League. Which is a lot of fun. If anybody followed us last year or followed any of the other channels that participated in it, it was a really good time. So this is a game that we came up with. It's the reason that we started the channel. And it combines football cards and fantasy football, which are two of my favorite things. And I know a lot of other people are into both, but this is a nice combination of the two that is just a whole lot of fun and really kind of ramps up both hobbies. So in an awesome combination called Fantasy Rip League. So here's how you play. First, you pick a product. This is going to be, we're going to do Prestige Hanger Box in this video, but you can pick anything from value packs to National Treasures Hobby Box if you want. Anything goes. You open the cards and you assemble a fantasy team based only on the players that you pull. So if you open something and you don't get a tight end, then you don't get to play a tight end. But for most, we found that most products end up covering most of the positions. These are the 8 positions. You get 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a kicker defensive player flex, because kickers do not get a whole lot of cards, and kicker defensive player points tend to be very similar. So if you play a kicker, that's usually the better option, but not always. That's part of where the strategy comes in. So you can pick a kicker or a defensive player. And then defense special teams is any defensive player that you pull, you can play that defensive team, which is cool for a lot of the vets. A lot of the vets that show up are old defensive players, so you can play. You usually have a lot of options at defense. So we're going to rip this, and then we're going to explain. You know what? Let's explain the points first. So, like I said, fantasy sports cards from Bracket. Fantasy Rip League 2021 season. Very cool. And here are the fantasy point multipliers. This is where the game kind of kicks into high gear. So for a base card, if you pull a Patrick Mahomes base card, you want to play Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, you'll get 1-time fantasy points. And this is based on a Yahoo half PPR league. I will flash up on the screen the scoring for those leagues. And that's how we're going to determine the points. If you get a parallel, and we'll just use Mahomes as an example. If you get a parallel of Mahomes, like a green foil or a red foil, whatever, that's times 2 points. A numbered card, we all know what numbered cards are, gets you times 3. A relic card is times 4. A bookend, so 1 of 99 or 99 out of 99 is a bookend. That gets you times 5. An autograph will get you times 6 fantasy points. And a jersey number, so if you pull a 15 out of 99 Mahomes, you get Mahomes times 7, which actually happened last year. One of the channels that was participating last year pulled a Mahomes, I believe it was Luminance, 15 out of something, and got to play Mahomes times 7, so he won that week. That was Derbs Codes. So 1 of 1 will get you times 10. Printing plates. I know in Prestige there were printing plates last year. We actually, in 1 week, we pulled a 1 of 1 printing plate, and the player that we were going against also pulled a better 1 of 1 printing plate, and we ended up losing that week. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of strategy involved in what type of product that you pick to rip, and then also, you know, picking your fantasy team, because you'll have options, so you still have to pick the best player. And then if you have, like, say a Roethlisberger times 4 or a Mahomes times 2, like, which one of those do you pick, you know? So it's a lot of strategy, it's a lot of fun. I think that pretty much sums it up. So we're going to cut here and we're going to rip this, and then we will assemble our team. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's rip this brand new release hanger box of Prestige 2021 and see if we can pull anything cool out of here to create our fantasy team. And also, this gives us a nice chance to review this product. We've already done some blaster boxes of Prestige, and we did the H2, and we've got a Mega on the way from Target, but we have not done the hanger box yet. So let's check out what these astral parallels look like. Can already tell we did not get a memorabilia card in here. Okay, so we'll cut this in half. Get a look at the base on the front here. Jamie Collins, Dak Prescott, Byron Jones, Marlon Humphrey, Michael Pittman Jr., Jerry Jeudy, Robert Woods, Jared Goff, DeMarcus Lawrence, Tyler Boyd, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Myles Garrett, Mike Evans, John Brown, Tyler Lockett, Antonio Gibson, Darius Slade Jr., Devin Bush, Justin Herbert, Fred Warner, Travis Fulgham, Sam Darnold in the Panthers uni. And here we come with our Astral parallels. We got a Kylan Hill, rookie running back. Very cool, like the stars. It's a nice parallel. Trevor Lawrence. Not bad. DeForest Buckner. DeAndre Hopkins. Very nice. Darren Waller the baller, so we are set. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the tight end spot. I can't imagine we'll do much better than that. All right, Aaron Jones, powerhouse. Terrell Davis. We got a Heroes. It is Josh Allen. Very nice. Love the Heroes cards. Don't have that one yet, so that's cool. And a Jalen Hurts youth movement. We'll round out the top half of the pack there. All right, Amir Smith-Marset. Kyle Pitts. Another tight end. That actually might be an option, except that is a base card. So that's just going to be Kyle Pitts times 1. We don't know how he fits into the offense yet, so we're still probably going to go with the Darren Baller times 2. Jake Funk, hearing a lot of good things out of camp about Jake Funk, especially with Cam Akers' season-ending Achilles injury. Jake Funk looks like he could be maybe even surpassing Darrell Henderson as the lead back, so someone to keep your eye on. Jalen Camp, Trey McKitty, Deshaun Watson, DeForest Buckner, DeAndre Hopkins, Roquan Smith, Saquon Barkley, Carson Wentz, Drew Lock, Cam Akers, Jeff Okudah, Stephon Diggs, Joe Burrow, Laramie Tunsil, Tom Brady, Derek Carr, Chris Carson, Montez Sweat, Sony Michel, Chase Claypool, Gardner Minshew, Ronald Jones, Kenyon Drake, Devontae Adams, Stephon Gilmore, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and a Kid Reporter. Go ahead and grab that code if you want. Okay, so not a bad pack at all. First thing we're going to do, this is how I like to play Fantasy Rip League. First thing I do is separate out anything we might have that has a multiplier. So that's just an insert. Inserts don't have multipliers because there are parallel versions of those. So it looks like these are all base. These are going to fill in most of our positions, but for the parallels, we do have Darren Waller, going to be our tight end, DeAndre Hopkins, DeForest Buckner, Trevor Lawrence, and Kylan Hill. So we're going to pause right here, and we will come back and set our lineup. Okay, guys, we have gone through all the cards. We've sorted them by position, decided who we're going to play based on schedule, injury reports, all the due diligence that we would normally do when playing fantasy football. We're ready to set our lineup. Before we do that, I just want to let you know if anyone is interested in joining or wants further information, whatever. But if you want to play Fantasy Rip League this year, second season, should be big, just hit me up on Instagram, BracketFSC, and let me know. And I can send you through email these print at home play mats that have the fantasy multiplayer keys. It'll tell you what positions that you have to fill, all that good stuff. Any questions about scoring or how to enter whatever, just let me know. Again, it's free. It's a lot of fun. Should be great. The way we're going to do it this year, last year we just had head-to-head matchups for, I think there were 9 of us in the league. This year I'm hoping to get more people involved, and I know that it can be hard to find enough product to rip and everything, and it's a lot of dedication to make sure that you do a video for it every week on time and all that. So we've broken it down, and we're going to do 4 mini heats basically. So week 1 through 4 is going to be the first one, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, so on and so forth. We're going to do 4 4-week mini heats throughout the year. That should land on week 17 for the end, which is perfect because we have an extra week this year. So the way it's going to work is week 1 and week 2 will just be tallying up your fantasy points, and the top 4 people with the top 4 fantasy points from week 1 and 2 will go on to week 3, and then the winners, the top 2 out of that week 3, will play head to head in week 4 to see who wins that first mini heat. It's a lot of fun. So that being said, I'm trying to make sure I cover all my bases here. If I left anything out, I'll throw it up on the screen. But if you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram. Let me know. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope I know there's a lot of new channels out there who might be interested in this. A lot of the bigger channels. Hopefully a lot of the guys from last year want to play again. And hopefully just dividing it down into these little mini heats will make it a lot easier for everyone to participate. Because I know it was a lot of work last year. So that being said, let's go over our lineup. So we pulled a ton of quarterbacks from this. There were 14 quarterbacks. 14 quarterback cards we pulled out of a 60 cards. Almost 1/4 of them were quarterbacks. The only parallel that we got was the Trevor Lawrence. I'm not a big fan. It's times 2 points, but I think out of all of these quarterbacks, there were some great options in here. You know, Dak, I'm not sure how he's doing with injuries. Herbert has a rough matchup in week 1. Burrow still coming back from an injury. Not sure how he's going to be. Tom Brady, though, I'm going to play Tom Brady. Tom Brady's playing at home against Dallas. Dallas had a terrible defense last year, so we're going to see how that works out. So I'm choosing, this is part of the strategy here, I'm choosing to play a base card times 1 over a parallel card times 2. So I think Tom Brady is going to have more than double the points that Trevor Lawrence is going to have. And we'll see. You know, obviously, you're not always right, but that's part of the strategy of the game. We pulled 3 tight ends. 2 were good options. We got Kyle Pitts, a rookie, Trey McKitty, replacing Hunter Henry over in Charger land. But Darren Waller is obviously one of the top 3 elite tight ends, and it's a multiplier. So this astral parallel of Darren Waller will be times 2. So we're going to play Darren Waller, the baller, as our tight end, and those will be times 2 points. Now we get into our running backs. We have to pick 2 running backs, RB1, RB2. We only pulled 1 parallel, and it was Kylan Hill, who is a rookie. No idea how he is or if he'll be involved, but pretty sure I'm eliminating that one from contention. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jake Funk, like I talked about earlier, should be a big name. Saquon is good. Cam Akers out for the season. So we got a few here, but we're going to go with Antonio Gibson. Washington football team playing at home against the Chargers week 1. So I love Gibson. This is a half point PPR league, so he gets involved in the passing game. So I think Antonio Gibson should be a good pick. And we've got Aaron Jones on the powerhouse insert. Just a base, not going to count as a multiplier, but Aaron Jones, definitely an elite running back. And they are playing against New Orleans in New Orleans. But I think Aaron Jones should have a good game. All right, getting into the wide receivers. Another bunch we picked. There's a ton of options here, including some duplicates. Definitely, I'm just going to skip to the back because I know I'm going to play DeAndre Hopkins. Arizona at Tennessee, week 1. D-Hop, elite wide receiver, times 2 multiplier. Definitely going with D-Hop. And we are going to play, I did seriously consider Jerry Jeudy. But a lot of these are rookies. I got a D-Hop base. Stephon Diggs, good one. Chase Claypool, good. But Devontae Adams, you know, definitely top 2 wide receiver, him and Tyreek. So we're going to go and play Devontae Adams. Again, Green Bay at New Orleans week 1. He will be our wide receiver 2. And we did not pull a kicker, which happens. Last year, there were only about 3 kickers that were consistently in sets. It was Younghoe Koo, Butker, and I forget the other one now. Oh, Justin Tucker. And if you didn't pull one of them, you probably didn't get a kicker. So that is why this is a flex spot where you can play a kicker or a defensive player, because defensive players, there's a ton of them. We pulled a ton of them. A lot of good options, but we're going to go with Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith is going to be our defensive player. That is not a multiplier, so times 1 fantasy points. And then the DeForest Buckner parallel. So a defensive player you can play as your defensive team, but the individual stats don't matter. So if you pull a retired defensive player, you can play that current team because the individual stats of the player on the card do not matter. So this is where it gets a little bit confusing, but basically a defensive player you can play, and then a defensive player you can play their team. And we're going to go with the Colts ×2, Indianapolis playing at home against Seattle, week 1. So there is our lineup, guys. And that's how you play Fantasy Rip League. So basically, in order to play, you would just make a video doing your rip on camera and then selecting your lineup on camera and posting that before kickoff of the first game, usually Thursday. So usually Wednesday evening or Thursday morning is when we post the videos. And then you just let me know that your video is posted. I watch the video, then I add all of your stats and everything into the spreadsheet, and then I calculate as the games go on, and at the end of the week you'll find out how many points you got. So yes, that's it, guys. That's the introduction to the Fantasy Rip League. I'm really excited about it. I hope a lot of people show some interest and want to participate. Again, it's totally free. It's just a lot of fun. It helps you create some free content and play fantasy football and open football cards. What could be better? So that being said, we are out. Thank you, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next video.